What's going on, y'all? We got a video from Jimmy High Roller. This couldn't have gone any worse. We're just gonna get straight into it, y'all. Let's get it.
Some guys just want to be the villain. Bill Laimbeer made a career out of being the villain. Kevin Garnett and Rasheed Wallace spent their entire careers terrorizing the...
Right away. Right away. It's gotta be something about Dillon Brooks, y'all. First line, he says, it's something about the villain. It's gotta be about Dillon Brooks.
NBA, and
with him trash talking to LeBron.
Rodman's sole mission was to pester the other team into submission. Latrell Sprewell choked out his own coach. For better or for worse, the NBA needs a villain. Someone we can all rally together and root against. And right now, that villain is Dillon Brooks. Or at least, that's what he thinks. Because this season alone, Dillon Brooks has managed to become public enemy #1 by getting into fights with Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Edwards, Pascal Siakam, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Chris Middleton, Draymond Green, James Harden, 7'2", 300-pound Joel Embiid, half the Spurs roster, and Shannon freaking Sharp. It's almost as if Dillon Brooks woke up one day and made a list of the greatest active NBA players and said, "F it, I'll take all of them." This has to be some sort of NBA record, a speed run on how to be unanimously despised by everyone. But of all the players Brooks decided to go after this season, of all the great players he provoked and pissed off on his way to 6 points and 3 rebounds on 38% shooting,
I didn't know it was that many players that he got into fights with.
On LeBron James.
And Shannon Sharp.
Because this ain't the bear you want to poke. See, in the NBA, there is a fragile balance between how good a player is and the acceptable amount of annoyance they are granted. Shout out to June Lee from ESPN for this concept because it explains this duality perfectly. Now, the better a player is, the more annoying he's allowed to be. For example, Joel Embiid is fairly annoying, but he's really good, so he's way above the threshold. Giannis isn't really annoying at all, and he's the best player in the league, so he's about as far above the threshold as you can get. Right next to Nikola Jokic.
Good guy,
most elite players around the league fall somewhere in this region. Guys like LeBron, Steph, Lillard, Tatum, Butler, really good, and just annoying enough to make it fun. But this is a delicate thing to maintain. Because when you're good enough, you can be about as annoying as you want to be, until you're not good enough and become unanimously insufferable. Ben Simmons is the poster child for this phenomenon, but Draymond Green and Chris Paul have also fallen victim to this as well. Really annoying and slowly declining in ability as the years go along. Now, some players have actually had an opposite trajectory. Not that good and extremely annoying early on in their career, but as their game improved, their antics have decreased. The redemption arc. You love to see it. But some players have taken it upon themselves to be as annoying as humanly possible while refusing to hold up their end of the bargain. Instigators who have absolutely no reason to be the way they are. Players like Pat Bev, Marcus Morris, Tristan Thompson, and even going back in time, there's been some absolute villains throughout NBA history. And yet, somehow, Dillon Brooks has found a way to be worse than all of them. Never before have I seen a player who is as unanimously disliked as Dillon Brooks is.
Is this like something that the NBA keeps track of or something?
Of all the ways he can make a difference and contribute to his team, poking the bear is his specialty. Even worse, he's not very good at that either. Because even the worst villains understand that there are some players you really don't want to piss off. They aren't fazed by your trash talk, but they will ruin you for trying it. These players are on the Do Not Trash Talk list. It's an exclusive club, and once a player joins it, the league comes to a silent agreement to never slight, jab, or trash talk that player. Now, any player can break this agreement if they so choose, but not without severe consequence. Larry Bird would often get challengers brave enough to trash talk him, and the result was always the same: humiliation and regret. Michael Jordan established his position on the
was about to dunk on someone. You see that? Or he was in the process of dunking on someone.
The occasional lunatic from stepping out of line and testing him. Unfortunately for them, Michael had an unhealthy relationship with squashing marginal NBA talent into irrelevance. The result of this was always a career night for Jordan and a downward spiral of shame for the opposition. Kobe was MJ's successor on this list, and right when the league thought that no one was exempt from some competitive banter, Kobe picked up right where Jordan left off and never missed the opportunity to make another man regret his decision to pick up a basketball. How quickly can I make a man want to quit his profession? Well, let's find out. If you trash talk the players on this list, they won't just give it right back to you. They become obsessive, driven to make sure that you become acutely aware of the fact that you are inferior. It's psychotic, really. And among active players, LeBron is the natural successor to Kobe in this regard. Time and time again, over the course of LeBron's career, players have attempted to trash talk him.
Passed down from MJ
and
to Kobe
time and time again, LeBron is given no choice but to remind them exactly why that's the worst decision they've ever made on a basketball court. But unlike his predecessors, there's one thing missing about LeBron and his presence on the court: fear. It's been said by countless players across generations that opposing players feared the likes of Bird and Mike and Kobe, but despite being the most daunting force of his generation, LeBron James isn't necessarily feared. At least that's what some players say.
I think part of it is because like people nowadays,
he isn't the
they respect LeBron, sure, yeah.
Which is weird because
but then like
LeBron's entire career, and
he seems to be like a pretty friendly person off the court, or at least appears to be. He appears to be a friendly person off the court.
Getting walked like a dog by LeBron
He doesn't try to like be everyone's worst enemy.
That LeBron isn't feared is absolute horseshit. Dillon Brooks is not one of those players. And so, in an attempt to find some sort of value to his team, Dillon Brooks begins his campaign to annoy the hell out of LeBron, disrespecting him in the middle of games, calling him out in interviews, saying he's old, he's washed up. LeBron hadn't earned Dillon's respect yet.
Don't worry, we have not forgotten about that. The media has not forgotten about
in
that.
head-to-head performances, Dillon Brooks was incessant, determined. It got so bad that even Skip Bayless, the LeBron hater, wanted LeBron to shut the kid up.
Yes.
I seethe over this to the point that I want LeBron to destroy this man.
I watched this segment actually of Skip and Shannon. I actually watched this, so I remember this. That was funny. It got that bad to the point where Skip actually was rooting for Bron.
He can destroy this.
That was crazy.
If he so chose to do.
And then to top off all the antics, Brooks drove the final nail into the coffin when he said this about LeBron and the Lakers leading into the playoffs.
But I wouldn't mind playing LeBron in a 7-game series. The legacy's there. First time back in the playoffs, knock them out right away in the first round.
And that was it. Unbeknownst to him, Dillon Brooks had just ended the Grizzlies season. The playoffs hadn't even begun, and yet the outcome was already determined. The kid flew too close to the sun, and his fate was sealed.
He was already calling it. Man was already calling it. Dillon Brooks, y'all.
Okay, so the Lakers get out to a 2-1 lead in the series. That's not the end of the world. You can still come back from that.
The Los Angeles Lakers have the Grizzlies on the brink of elimination. Dillon Brooks picks up James. He wanted James. He gets him. James drives. James is fouled.
And one. And one.
All right.
Bodied him.
A historic night for LeBron. Not a good look for old Brooks. He should probably turn it up if he wants to salvage this year.
With the board and put back. He is dominating in the James popped the clutch.
Oh.
LeBron activated. Slocked up by James. Oh! He rose up. It's not quite winter.
Destroyed the Grizzlies. Good.
The Los Angeles Lakers will advance by virtue of a 125-85 win.
You know, I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. So I pride myself on, you know, what I do is defense and take it on any challenge that's on the board.
Of all the outcomes and ways this
he lost by 40.
Could have ended,
LeBron had a 2020 game.
Of the worst one. Get outplayed every single game? Check. Have a historic night drop right on your head. Check. Get ejected from a game at the hands of the guy you were trash talking? Check. Get sent home in the first round as the 2 seed by the old guy you went out of your way to disrespect? Check.
No way.
Must we not forget? This
That's
is what
crazy.
Brooks wanted,
Get sent
and
to
it's what he got.
Cancun.
But you want to know what's worse than
By
an obscure
38-year-old
NBA player
LeBron.
trying to be the villain? An
38.
obscure NBA player trying to be the villain, but after seeing the mess he's made, decides halfway through a playoff series that he doesn't want to be the villain anymore. Because after getting ejected from Game 3, Dillon Brooks had the audacity to say that we, the fans, are making him out to be the villain.
Media making me a villain, the fans making me a villain, and then that just creates a whole different persona on me. So now you think I intended to hit LeBron James in the...
That's right. It's our fault. It couldn't be the season-long pest crusade he went on, or the
Right.
direct trash talk he was doing all season.
Right.
It's just merely our perception on it. But
Right.
wait, there's more. Because after LeBron went for a historic
All the
20 and
arguments he
20
got
in Game
into
4
with not just
and laid
LeBron,
the dagger right on
but
Brooks,
other
the man
players
refused
throughout
to
the
talk
league.
to the media and avoided all questions and
Throughout the
interviews after
season.
the game. How ironic. You mean this guy doesn't want to do a post-game interview? But at the end of the day, you take your L and you move on. Dillon Brooks, like countless players before him, learned the hard way that he just isn't that guy. I mean, how much worse could this possibly get?
According to a new report from Shams of The Athletic, the Grizzlies told soon-to-be free agent Dillon Brooks he's not coming back to the team, quote, under any circumstances.
This man's gone,
I
bro.
take that back. This is literally the worst case of mess around and find out I've ever seen in my life.
Man's
now,
gone.
I've seen players get humiliated,
This
sent
man's
home,
gone, bro.
benched for talking too much. But in all my
Man is
days,
gone.
I have never seen a player, a starter in the NBA, get released because he was talking too much trash. Even his own team said, "All right, buddy, that's enough out of you." And it's not like Brooks was a bad player, mediocre for sure, but for the Grizzlies to go to this extent to make sure that he never cost them another playoff series again is actually insane. Here's the thing. If
Thank
you
God.
are going to be the bad guy, a pest, the villain,
They
you
seriously
have to
got rid
embrace
of him,
it,
which
and you have
was-
to accept
which was
what comes
wild.
with it. Patrick Beverley is about as unapologetic as one man can be. He's insufferable, and he'd have it no other way. Draymond Green is a jerk, an instigator, and he knows it. Trae Young loves being the villain. Dillon Brooks does not. Because as a wise man once said, everybody acting tough when they're up. Now that LeBron is older, he's slowed down, he gets injured more often, can't jump as high or run as fast, some players are beginning to think that LeBron is no longer on the do not trash talk list. That the door has opened back up
Come on
and
now.
they can talk smack without consequence. But
Come on
even
now.
in his ancient age, 20 years of mileage, and apparently not being one of the most feared players in the NBA, LeBron still managed to teach Brooks a lesson he'll never forget. Some bears just ain't worth poking.
Yup.
Hope you all enjoyed. And as always,
You have to figure it out
until next time.
the really hard way. The really hard way. My goodness. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video. Yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen to Dillon Brooks, honestly. Is he gonna get picked up by any team, or after how he did in the playoffs, is he done? I don't know. We'll see. Let me know and I'll catch you on the next one.